So let's start reviewing the most important conclusions of reconnective healing science and then explaining how we achieved these conclusions. The first and second conclusions we are analyzing and reviewing are these ones. Reconnective healing interacts with a new bandwidth of energy, light, and information. And the benefits of any energy healing technique is included and multiplied in the reconnective healing process. Reconnective healing increases coherence. Let's start by trying to explain what is energy, light, and information. Well, concerning light, light is a bandwidth of electromagnetic waves of different frequencies. As you can see in the image, the radio, TV, radar, and cell phones use waves of low frequency. The visible light that we see through our eyes is only a short spectrum of these waves. This bandwidth of waves is energy that manifests as light and contains information. So, every energy healing technique interacts with a different, limited, and finite range of these waves. Reconnective healing is not a technique allowing to interact with high-frequency waves like gamma rays. Measuring changes in the energy field in the room during the seminars, William Tyler, PhD, physicist, Professor Emeritus of Stanford University, found out a concentration of energy with such high frequency that if it was measured in temperature should reach 300 centigrades or 527 Fahrenheit. Like gamma rays, only seen in subatomic processes and in star explosions. Tyler reported that entropy declines during reconnective healing, meaning that greater coherence is happening. This experiment was confirmed by Konstantin Korotkov that measured the energy field of humans during seminars. The effects on these fields showed an increased coherence, as you can see in the image. So, reconnective healing interacts with a wider and more comprehensive range of electromagnetic waves than any other energy healing. And all the limited bandwidth of light that energy healing techniques interact with are contained in the wider and more comprehensive bandwidth that reconnective healing interacts with. Let's see another conclusion, the third one. Reconnective healing increase coherence in DNA. Well, what is DNA? DNA is found in the nucleus of every cell and is composed by nucleotides that are arranged in two long strands that form a spiral called double helix because it curls. Glenn Ryan, PhD, Director of Quantum Biology Research Laboratory, assembled a scientific experimentation where some DNA molecules were damaged by heat, making it unwind. A control group of these molecules were left on its own to measure the time it would take to self-heal. That served to compare to others damaged DNA molecules groups that were subjected to Reiki, Jorei, Jinshin, and reconnective healing. And what happened? Well, the conclusions were clear. The DNA molecules that were subjected to Reiki, Jorei, and Jinshin took longer to rewind than the ones that were left to self-repair. But with reconnective healing, the DNA molecules rewound faster, and more than that, some of pre-existent defects in the molecules were corrected. Amazing, isn't it? Also, Konstantin Korotkov, PhD, director of St. Petersburg Federal Research Institute of Physical Culture, that have made several scientific studies on reconnective healing. On one double-blind test carried out on Russian Olympian athletes, measuring pulse rate, heart rhythm, energy reserves, and several other indicators, proved that a reconnective healing session was enough to show rapid positive aspects on all indicators and improvements in DNA. So, we can say for sure that reconnective healing has a direct impact on DNA. Let's go now for the fourth conclusion that says that reconnective healing works at distance. For that, we are going to talk about Dr. Gary Schwartz that developed one experiment trying to understand the impact of distant reconnective healing on plant leaves severed from the mother plant and planted into soil. The conclusions were that distant reconnective healing has a beneficial effect on plant leaf survival, reported as dry weight after 34 and 90 days. Leaves receiving 4 10-minute distant healing sessions over a 60-day period remained rather intact. The control group of leaves not receiving any session faded in 34 days. And more than that, often the leaves that were subjected to the sessions survived more than 90 days, and some also produced roots, indicating regeneration.